This is the Economics Weekly, and I'm Waldo Krugell, and this time around, I'm talking about Transport Month in South Africa. Now, on the face of it, a video about Transport Month may seem a bit boring, but I had a look at a recent report by the South African Freight Forwarders Association, and it's filled with interesting details. The first thing is, most of us are simply irritated when you're stuck behind a truck somewhere on the open road, but trucks are an indicator of how the economy is doing at the moment. And there's even a Truckometer Index that measures truck traffic at 9,000 points across the whole Sunroll network. And they basically give us an indication of how the economy is doing week by week. So if you're interested in the gross domestic product, nowcasting the GDP with truck traffic is a really interesting way to do it. The SARF report also has stuff that you wouldn't know if you're not working in the industry. For example, last week, ocean freight was disrupted by strong winds and high ocean swells. Who knew? But that meant a lot fewer containers were loaded than in a normal week. Out of the port of Durban, there was rail traffic disruptions due to cable theft. And on the line between City Deep and Mafikeng, the availability of locomotives decreased rail traffic. Then if you look at border crossings, the average waiting time at a South African border crossing into the South African development community, our neighboring countries, is 11 hours. But last week there were particular problems at Beitbridge, Groblersbrug, as well as Kusambalesa. I think that's in Zambia. So it's an interesting industry to observe. One, because it's filled with all these interesting details, and the other because it links so closely to economic activity in South Africa. Internationally, it seems that there's a glut of container shipping availability developing due to the trade wars between the US and China. So China is shipping many more containers in the region, in Southeast Asia, than it used to compared to shipping to the US, which means that there's now an overcapacity, and it seems like prices are going to fall, and the big shipping lines are really competing on price at the moment. So if all of this sounds interesting in some way, you should consider studying economics and international trade at the Northwest University. So please like, share, and comment on this video, and hopefully I'll be back soon with more interesting things from the economy.